So the topic of tonight is proteins, okay? And I prepared a little PowerPoint for you just to speak about the topics. What is protein? Why is it so important in any age group also? Yeah, it's not due to a certain age group. And let's have a start. First, have a look what is proteins. And I want to give you in the first time, the first slide, I want to give you a picture into your head. Think about an alphabet, please, okay? Proteins are chains of amino acids. You can see them here, and they're chains like alphabets, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 20 different amino acids. We have got these little pearls here, yeah? And these little pearls, the amino acids, are the smaller parts in a chain together, make a protein. Okay, and that is just a picture I want to have in your head tonight. Either you think about the chains of amino acids, or please think about the alphabet also. Okay, and what do they really do? And honestly, it is so large what they do, because in the end we're talking about our whole body, because proteins, they just build us, okay? They build and maintain and replace our tissue in the body. Here we start talking about the muscles, but also our organs. Our immune system needs it. So it's really for our overall health so vital, so important to have proteins on board, okay? Proteins are really, you know, we always think, if we speak about proteins, everybody thinks about muscles, but that is not the only truth, you know. At the moment, I think we should, for example, think about our immune system and the topic of antibodies. Yeah, we are very often not aware that proteins help our body to build antibodies against bacteria, against viruses, for example, and also helps therefore our immune system. Okay, so in total, it's really difficult to say it. How do you say, to cut it down what proteins do in our body? They're really like a frame, yeah, for like the structure for all our tissue part, yeah. Also collagen has to do something with our proteins, okay. So we can think about muscles, we can think about bones and ligaments and all the collagen part also, but we can also think about our immune system, okay. So just think about the alphabet here. That is the best picture I think you can have in your mind. Okay, let's think about now, let's go to the skin, for example, okay, tissues. Collagen, everything here has to do with the proteins, yeah? Our cartilage in our, for example, our bones, our skin tissue, everything, okay? So yes, proteins have to do something with the collagen, and here you can read collagen is the most abundant protein in our body. It is the major component of connective tissue. Connective tissue is what is holding us together, okay? That make up several body parts, including tendons, ligaments, skins, muscle, and so on, okay? So yes, it is important for strengthening also our bones and so on. Let's go ahead. Why? If we lack proteins, what can happen? For example, just as one example, we can get weak and also very tired. Too little protein in diet may lead to symptoms like weakness, fatigue, and of course, poor immune system, as I said before. So it's really important to have a balanced diet and to make sure that we get enough proteins. And I will tell you later how. I just want to throw to get an overview. Yes, of course, muscles. I mean, that is something we always combine. If we speak about proteins, you think about the gyms and the protein shakes. And yes, it has to do something it has to do with building our muscle mass, yeah? And of course, a higher protein diet has to do Also then with preventing obesity. So if I build muscles up with proteins, then I don't maybe have the tendency to suffer obesity or overweight. Okay, that is what these two pictures should show you. And yes, these improvements are thought to be due in part to modulation in energy. So here we go about our energy metabolism, appetite, and energy intake also. Yeah. Okay, so I can also take influence here in my appetite. Yeah, what do I eat to really feel full or feel satisfied after a meal? That has a lot to do with proteins. There is a colleague of ours who's called Andreas Jopp. He writes very good books, and I made a photograph of one of his books I really love. And this book is called Proteins, Eiweiß in German. Yeah, he wrote it together with another doctor. And how do you say, eating pyramid or the nutritional pyramid, you say, they are having as a concept here is that, of course, as a base, you can see here our vegetable and our fruits and our good oils and everything. Yeah. And then the next one is the protein part. Okay. And that is for example, also the way that the Spanish government has changed the nutritional pyramid since many, many years. And I was very happy when I was living in Spain, seeing that they changed it also in the books of my children at school. And that's why I want to show it here too. So here they call the Samla program. That means we went, if we go back in the Stone Age time, we were of course collecting food. That was here the fruit part and maybe the vegetable part and so on, and nuts and so on. Yeah, here. Okay. Then also the hunting, das Jägerprogramm, the hunting program. Of course, we were hunting then animals to get meat or fish, for example, and so on. And here you can also see the seeds. Yeah, so that would be a pyramid we should really think about to adapt into our lives and really think about these two lower parts to have that included in our daily menu plan. Okay, so let's see here. Yes, protein. We can have different sources of protein. Once we can have protein from plants, that would be the seeds and the nuts and the legumes and the beans and lentils. Here you can see the plant-based sources for proteins. Okay, and here too. And then here you can see the animal part, the animal source, which then of course would be meat and fish, eggs, and the dairy. The dairy is then the cheese part or the yogurt part or the milk part. Okay, that is what we, if I go back again here, what we can see also here. In this protein part, we can see the same sources I'm showing you here, and we can decide now. Some people are vegetarian or even vegan. It really depends. You just have to make sure. It doesn't matter if you are now a vegan or a vegetarian or a flexitarian or how we call them all, you know, just make sure however you eat, that you really also get enough proteins on board, because that is the second important part here after, let's say, to get our micronutrition through fruit and vegetable, which is the vitamins and the minerals and the trace elements and the, of course, also a lot of source of roughage, of fiber part. Then we should get enough of the protein. As you can see here in the lower part, there's also the oils included, which is of course very important, but we also find good oils, of course, here in the nut part. Very, very important too. And if we think about the Stone Age time, if you think about how manhood has survived many, many thousands of years. What really filled us, what really was on our plan of eating was, of course, what we were collecting. Yeah, that is this part. And what we were hunting. Okay, these two programs, with these two programs, we survived many millions of years. And it was really the part of protein combined with fats that really fills us up also, okay, and stops our feeling of being hungry, together, of course, with what we need, with the vitamins and minerals I speak in other presentations about. I just want to let you know that really the protein part is a very important part, that we also feel satisfied and filled up in combination, especially also with the fats here. Okay. So now, nowadays, you know, the world has changed, and we cannot just so easily eat everything, because, you know, a lot of things are polluted. For example, the oceans are polluted, and now the Spanish government, you know, I lived 17 years in Spain, suddenly said we should not eat more than 2 times fish a week. Incredible. Yeah. If for a lot of Spanish people living by the ocean, it was just not what they did. They ate from the sea every single day. Yeah. So now suddenly, I'm just throwing light now on pollution. Just due to pollution, we should not eat that anymore. Okay. So the same is with meat. Where does your meat come from? It's really about the quality, to look for the quality of your food. And that is what I also want to include in this presentation. Of course, also in all the other things we eat, in our beans and in our nuts and everything we eat, we always have to look for our quality, because also plants can be very polluted if they are sprayed a lot and whatever. That is, I think, our biggest challenge. Okay, so let's try to think about, let's say we're speaking about flexitarians. People who eat flexitarians mean they are eating flexible everything. Okay, I don't want to exclude now vegetarian or vegan people, but let's take this picture here, a flexitarian combining everything together. Okay, but the main challenge here is now also to think about the quality. You cannot just eat meat and not think about where it comes from. You cannot just take a cheese and not think where it comes from, because the way we bring up our animals, the way we spray our fields is, of course, a big topic. And I normally always speak about that in my other presentations. I just want to include it here too. And now also to the meat part, there are a lot of doctors who say you cannot eat grain-fed red meat. What does that mean? Have you heard that? A lot of people haven't even heard that. What does, I don't, do you know what your animal you eat on your plate has eaten before? You don't know what the animals have eaten before. And now there is a big difference. If you eat animals, please, then, yeah, for example, red meat, which is from the cow, yeah, or the cattle, you should eat grass-fed animals, okay, and not grain-fed animals. And that is really a very, very important point. Yeah, eating lots of red meat, meaning beef, pork, or lamb, can be hazardous for your health. Okay, grain-fed red meat is my least favorite source of protein, and honestly, that is what Christine here, a doctor, said, but that's also what I think. We should really have a good look, where does your animal come from, and read and buy. You can buy also animal that have been fed by with grass. I have to go out of my PowerPoint now, because I don't know how to make a link directly from my PowerPoint to the website, but I want to show you the website now. Just give me a second, please, to organize myself here, because that is, wait a second, Look, can you now see what I can see? Let me just share my screen again. Okay, here you go. So what do I love about our company is that our company thinks a lot about these things I was just speaking about. Yeah, I'm showing you now one of their protein shake. Yes, it is not for vegan people here at the moment. Yeah, but what I want to show you is that Life Plus very well thinks about the sources. Okay, if they create, for example, protein shakes for us, where you can, of course, you can take them to also make sure that you get enough of the proteins. And if they are coming from sources like here, our whey protein, okay, so animal sourced, then they really think that it is, the source is from grass-fed cows, no artificial ingredients, no GMOs. They make sure that the animal was not treated by antibiotics or hormones. That is incredible. That's an incredible, let's say, quality they are really looking into, okay? And that makes it so interesting to have a look at the products of Life Plus, yeah? Happy cows make the best milk. Our whey is sourced from family farms that care deeply about the cows they raise. The cows are fed primarily grass and other locally grown feed and raised within a short distance of where the milk is collected and processed. Okay, so fresh whey from fresh milk without hormones, without antibiotics, giving you the best whey. And that, of course, is the Life Plus way, because you can also not just consume any kind of protein shakes, which you also have not checked in the quality. So check your meat, check, but also your protein shakes. Here you can read more if you go on the PDF of it. Okay, you get more information about what is in there. Here you can also see the amino acids again. Think about the letters, the alphabet I was speaking about. The letters are the amino acids. Here you can see them in one of the product Life Plus offers to us. That's why I wanted to mention it now. I wanted to mention that if we think about any kind of intake of proteins, we really here also in the form of powders, we have to look at the quality. And what I love about our company is that they look into that. And if I read here in that they really look here, let's read again. Containing whey protein isolates produced 100% from grass-fed cows, never treated with antibiotics or hormones, including never using recombinant bovine growth hormones. That is really already outstanding. Yeah, and if you're maybe part of a or if you're in a gym and if you're young, and I know my son is young and he wants the big muscles, you cannot just take any kind of protein shake. Especially the cheap protein shakes, you can really harm your body a lot. The intake of antibiotics through protein shakes, the intake of antibiotics through eating meat is also big. So you really have to look into it. That's where I want to conclude. You cannot, if I say now, okay, you know, if you eat meat, for example, there's a protein source, and then you all start eating meat like mad now. That is not my idea, okay? I want you to think about quality. If you eat meat, then think about the quality. If you eat, or if you drink a protein shake, think about the quality. And that is what really makes it. It's not the quantity. We don't need hypes of proteins. We need good proteins. And we also have to vary in proteins. If you're a meat eater, meat should not only be your protein source. You should have various sources, also the nuts, also the lentils, and the beans should be part of it. And you should vary in that, okay? You also have to know that eating meat is also making us very acidy, okay? So that is what I wanted to explain here a little bit. Yeah, and if we go back again in our sources, that is really, if you want to combine that here, yeah, if you're not an eat meater, if you're vegetarian or vegan, here are your sources, okay? Here are they. And you can also, and you should also, of course, look into the quality here, yeah? So make sure that you get enough. You don't have to eat meat. You can eat meat. It is just your conviction, and but the quality is the most important part. And yes, proteins are important because they are important for my overall health. I have to make sure that I get all the protein, all the amino acids, yeah. And I just showed you here in the Be Refueled, there is an amino acid also profile. You could read yourself, you find it on the Life Plus website, as I just showed you, and you can be sure that the source is very good of the protein. Here, another protein shake Life Plus has. Elizabeth, you just had it in your hand. It is the triple protein shake, also not for vegan people, because it is also from animal, yeah, because here we've got the whey and the milk and the soy. It's called triple because it has 3 protein sources, the whey, the milk, and the soy. The good, let's say that the difference here is also that in this triple protein shake, there is it contains highly bioavailable minerals like calcium and magnesium and potassium. And that's why this protein shake is also not metabolized so acidy. So it doesn't make me as acidy as normally proteins can do, especially if they come from the animal. Okay, so that is, let's say, the miracle here. Now for our vegan friends, of course, also the company has a vegan protein shake. Here you can see it is, we have it also in chocolate or in vanilla. And you can also add it onto your healthy diet plan, and you can add it every day. And here it comes from the pea and the brown rice protein. So that is for our vegan friends a very good option. Yeah. So I also spoke about the amino acids. And I also want to say that or throw some light on the sports world. Of course, I mean, sports people really think about proteins the whole time. And here we've got very good amino acid sources from our sports nutrition program. They're called the Bs. 3 Bs. We've got the B Focus as our pre-workout. Then we've got the B Sustained, which is our amino acid drink while I'm working out. And then we've got the B Recharged to fill up my cells again after I have worked out. Okay, 3 different amino acids combination, let's say, also very good for vegan people because they're plant-based. And that is something for our sports friends now here. You find all the information, by the way, on the website. I just want to show that to you. And why do I mention the amino acids? Because you again think about these little chains, or you think about the alphabet. To build a protein, I need the amino acids. Okay, so if I drink the amino acids, my body itself can build a good protein. And a protein, for example, I need then to build hormones or skin or immune system or my defenses, everything like that. Okay, so here you've got our amino acid program from the company. And here again, okay, so here these are our B's: Be Focused, Be Sustained, Be Refueled, Be Recharged, and the Be Refueled also as a B they added now. And you know that we've got the promotion this month. That means if you order in February a Be Refueled, yeah, you will also get another one for free. We have got it without taste. We've got it with various tastes, vanilla and chocolate and I think strawberry and so on. Just go on the website, please, and inform yourself. If you buy one, you get the second for free. So it is, of course, a good option now to try out this protein shake if you're interested to add a protein shake onto your diet. Okay. Again, let's go back to the amino acids. Think about the letters. Okay, our body is made of them. Even our genetical code is made of these letters, 20 different letters, and the sentences our body writes with these 20 letters has to be correct. Okay, and if I don't give my body this blueprint of life, if I don't give them all these letters, you can see here in form of a C or a U or an A, and then you can also see that they are built from these amino acids, then you can maybe not write whole sentences. Okay, if we have got legs in the alphabet, we cannot write here whole sentences, and that's where I want to go. And I also want to tell you that, you know, I just want to read it now from Andreas Job's book. He says, you know, our genetical code can be so super, but in our cells, yeah. But if we don't have the letters, yeah, if we don't have the amino acids, the 20 letters, the blueprint here, just because one amino acid is missing, for example, an amino acid called, let's say, phenylalanine, if this letter is missing, then suddenly our sentences are not anymore complete. And exactly that happens to our body. That happens if our cells also always want to duplicate. We need to make sure that we give them the right, let's say, a lot of these or enough of these amino acids that they can always have the right blueprint here. Okay, and he says it happens very often, and you can even check that, yeah, in laboratories. In your blood, they can also analyze your amino acids, and we should really make sure that we've got enough of them. And if we don't have enough of them, then we do get symptoms. Yes, for example, we are very, very tired, or we are not sleeping well. These can already be symptoms of lacks of proteins. We have the tendency to depression, yeah, or sequences where we feel very depressed, for example. We are not really fueled. We cannot really perform, yeah, or I've got like fog in my brain. That also can be already results of not being, of not having enough of the amino acids, and that's why the whole sentence cannot be written in the right way. Yeah, and here I just wanted to show again what parts of our bodies are we talking about if we talk about amino acids and proteins. Yes, we are talking about muscles, and we are talking about brain food. Brain food, for example, that is something the managers know. The managers know that if they are lacking good amino acids and good proteins, they cannot think, they cannot concentrate, for example, very good, and that's why we need it as a brain food. Look, a next word, mood food. Mood food, yes, it has to do with depression if we don't have enough proteins, if we don't have enough of the amino acids, because if we don't have the proteins, then we cannot build the hormones, for example, our luck hormone called the serotonin. And yes, we can get better if we make sure that we get enough of the protein part. Now, what has my heart to do? Yes, my heart health has to do with the proteins as well. It is very important that I get enough of them to have, let's say, a heart protection, and to make sure that I don't get, for example, high blood pressure, has to do with enough proteins. And yes, it is also protecting my heart. Then I can boost my metabolism. Yes, of course, I can boost them. And I also can make sure that if I have enough protein part in my diet, I don't get hungry so quickly. And I can also, let's say, manage my weight a little bit. Yeah, instead of eating rubbish and junk food, I just add good proteins to my diet, or even a protein shake. Instead of eating rubbish, I can drink a protein shake, and then I know I do better. I have a better impact on my body. Again, the immune system, yes, the immune system has a lot to do also with the amino acids, as I said, because, or with the proteins, because we are really building our defenses with good proteins. Yeah. For example, if you now, for example, would get a cold, the first thing I do if I get a cold is I take a lot of vitamins and combine them with protein, always. Yeah, so I take my daily, but I take it with a protein shake, or I take my vitamin C and I take it with proteins, because I know that the vitamins combined with the protein here also is really working on my immune cells, on my so-called macrophages, that they can then eat the bad ones. It's like my own, let's say, army. Yeah, I'm eating for my own defense. Think about the defenses like an army. I'm eating for that. And then I can build up this army against these. I can build up my antibodies, my own armies against the viruses, or, for example, or the bacteria out there. Look here, this little boy should symbolize that it has also, of course, something to do with growth. We do. Proteins have an impact also on our growth, and that's why, of course, it's also important for our children. And I want to read one testimonial to you I got from a midwife, and I just want to share that with you now. Wait a second. I have to translate it from the German. My name is Kerstin. I'm a midwife. I'm 48 years old, and I am absolutely pro micronutrition and also protein shakes in the pregnancy and in the time of breastfeeding. The protein shake is a good source for the mother and the kid and the child to get the proteins they need. And if we're talking about the triple protein shake, for example, also the calcium and the magnesium we need. We have to know that besides a lot of water, which our body contains, also we are made of a lot of proteins, okay? And that our body contains 65% of water and 28% of proteins. In all our cells, the proteins, as I said, are found in muscles, in hair, in skin, in nails, in brain, in heart, in all of the organs. And a pregnant woman needs up to 65% more proteins that the mother and the child is sufficiently nourished. 65%. Okay. The uterus is a muscle and also depends on our amino acids. If we don't have enough amino acids, our uterus cannot work as it should work. And if the uterus cannot work at the moment of the birth, yeah, due to, for example, protein lack, then we have much more, let's say, cesarea. Do you say that in English? Much more cesarea, that they have to take the child out of the belly of the mother. 90% higher risk of cesarea if pregnant women have a protein lack. Okay, that's why she is absolutely pro to take protein shake in the pregnancy. Now she's coming to the breastfeeding time. In the breastfeeding time, the protein shake of Life Plus is doing magic, not only for the mother, also for a really good and healthy child. A lot of children are sleeping better if the mother is taking a protein shake. And also they are more zat, how do you say that, filled up or satisfied, the children. Yeah, they are, when they have eaten, they're like full. They don't need anything anymore, okay? And that's why they're sleeping better. So again, me as a midwife, I want to encourage you to take the protein shake in your pregnancy, while also in the time of giving birth, and then also by breastfeeding your child. Okay, so that is one of the testimonials I got from a midwife I was communicating with. And as in this English-speaking team here, we have got so many moms and pregnant women, and that's why I wanted to include it here also for you to know that this is really important. And yes, you can give it also to children. If you're breastfeeding, you're giving it to your children through your own milk. So you don't have to give it to your baby. You as a mom is taking it, and through your milk, you're giving it also to your babies. Okay, so that is important for every mother here that is breastfeeding. Also the daily, for example, the good parts, we are also through our breast giving to our children the fiber part and the probiotic part and so on. Okay, so if you as a mother are very, very well nourished, you also have a better nourished child. And I was asked the last day, my child is not eating and is not eating enough, and so worried moms of children that don't eat. If you've got children that you think don't eat enough or don't show the appetite you would like them to show, you should know that through for example, our vitamins and minerals we've got in our shop, but that is not our topic today, but also with the proteins, you can help children here also. Okay, you can help them to get the nutrients they need. It doesn't mean that they have to drink a whole shaker full, please. Yeah, they are children. You just take smaller dosifications, but you can also give it to your children to make sure that they get all the vital nutrients. And you now understood that the protein is we call that macronutrient. Yeah, one of the very big vital nutrients we really need for our overall health. And we have to make sure that we get the right sources of it. And again, it doesn't matter what your conviction you are, if you eat meat or you don't eat meat, it's about the quality, please. And if you also eat meat, then please think about the quality. You cannot uncritically just eat meat, because you also really get a lot of other, let's say, for example, by antibiotics and also hormones, and that also kicks you out of a balance again. Okay, it's always about the quality, and the quality of our company is really amazing. I showed it the last time in my presentation, that they also really always check all the ingredients about pollution, toxins, and make sure that they don't have it in their products. So that is what I wanted to speak about today. I don't know if there have been some questions in the chat, because I can't read and speak, but let's see. If you've got questions, you can also raise your hand if you want, or you can write it in the chat, and then I can still answer some questions.